Welcome everyone. My name is Lisa Black and I work on the product management team in client education. What are we going to cover today? Well, today we'll review a little bit about the clearinghouse history, how we got here, what's our mission, a bit about clearinghouse leadership, who we work with, what services we provide, and where you can find more resources and go to for help. Most importantly today, we're here to answer your questions. So periodically I'll stop to see if there are any questions. But you don't have to wait for me. If you have a question, just enter it in the Q&A pod and I'll make sure I get to them. And finally, today's webinar is meant to give a general picture of the clearinghouse and what we do. We're not going to get too detailed on each individual service and how each one works and operates and all the features. Most of them already have their own webinars and you can find those at clearinghouseacademy.org. So the National Student Clearinghouse was founded back in 1993 with the initial purpose of being a central repository for reporting student enrollment, helping to decrease administrative burden to colleges and universities, and, with more streamlined reporting, to decrease the number of technical student loan defaults. And the catalyst to founding the Clearinghouse was the rising amount of student loan debt. In the 1990s, we were looking at about 4 million students taking on nearly $12 billion student loans, and the default rate was growing over the years. In fact, in 1990, we were looking at a default rate of 22.4%, which is almost a quarter of the students out there with student loans. On top of that, financial aid reporting was primarily paper-driven. You had schools reporting to guarantors and loan servicers, schools reporting to the Department of Ed, guarantors reporting to the department, students reporting to loan servicers, and you can get the point. It was a very complex process. It was hard to tell whether a student was full-time, half-time, less than half-time, if they transferred, and where they were going to school. And as you can imagine, it was quite a headache. And that's actually how the clearinghouse came to be. If you can imagine someone saying, hey, that's got to be an easier way. Can't we just have one place where we all send our enrollment data and that reports out for us? And that's what the clearinghouse has done for the past 25 years. We pride ourselves on providing value to the education community. And as you can see here, we have 3 pillars that we like to highlight. We're a trusted and secure partner who believes highly in data security. We have national data coverage and usage, and we provide you with a number of innovative solutions. And last but not least, we are a nonprofit organization which is dedicated to strengthening and reinvesting in the services that we provide to you, our customers. I mentioned that we are committed to privacy and security, and we are. And we have been since 1993. We're recognized by privacy leaders nationwide and are members of and have been recognized by a number of data privacy initiatives. We also have nationwide coverage, and what do I mean by that? Well, there are over 3,600 colleges and universities participating with the Clearinghouse, and they represent around 98% of the nation's enrollment and 93% of four-year degrees earned in the United States. And in a research capacity, we're working with about 85% of every state's K-12 or post-secondary education departments in a research capacity. And of course, we provide innovative solutions. For 25 years, the Clearinghouse has been providing services and solutions to and to benefit the education community and their students. And now, more than ever, we're dedicated to supporting the student's journey. That's from K through 12, post-secondary, graduate studies, and beyond into the workforce. Leadership is also invested in the support of that journey. Our management team, they are dedicated to this as well. Each member is committed to providing exceptional services to our customers. Our board of directors is made up of a cross-section of the education community and is representative of the constituents we serve. The research board of directors is also made up of members in that community, and they are experienced in higher education research and policy. And then we have 2 advisory committees. Members of those committees, they meet several times a year and provide feedback on ways to improve existing services or new areas of development. Our boards and committee membership changes periodically, and you can actually see a full list of members online. In short, our mission at the Clearinghouse is to serve the education and workforce communities and all learners with access to trusted data, related services, and insight. So who do we work with? Well, at the Clearinghouse, we work with a number of different groups. We work with colleges and universities, providing them much needed services to help reduce the administrative burden on their staff. Of course, you guessed it, we work with students and alumni. We aid them with services like transcript ordering or verifications of enrollment, attendance, or degrees obtained. And who's making these verification requests? Well, we have companies that are providing services or discounts to students, like background screening firms doing employment checks, and also companies like Amazon for student prime or student discounts. Educational organizations. We work with them on different initiatives and research. And the financial aid community on reporting out the correct enrollment status of currently enrolled students for student loan reporting purposes. Secondary schools, high schools, we work with them to exchange transcripts or help them gain insights on their graduates and success rates. Outreach programs are also working with us to increase college accessibility and success. And last but not least, the Department of Education. So all of that enrollment reporting that we're doing on behalf of post-secondary institutions, the reason we're doing it and the reason we were founded is to report per federal regulations to the Department of Ed and, of course, the lending community. Before we get into the services we provide, let's take a look at the Clearinghouse website. At the very top of the page, you're going to see a number of the different partner groups I mentioned, students, high schools, educational organizations. If you were to take your mouse and hover over those, a little drop down will show up, and this would show you all of the different services that the Clearinghouse provides. And because when I said all of the different services, there are so many, it can get a bit confusing and sometimes challenging to explain and to understand what exactly the Clearinghouse does, what services it offers. So I'm going to explain this in a slightly different way. You'll have to excuse me. I have a background in education and I taught for 3 years of my life. So I try to find the easiest way to categorize and explain things. And so when I looked at all the services, I noticed that there were some common themes. And by themes, I mean 4 areas where I could group all of the services in one of these 4 areas. And those are services that deal with enrollment reporting, services that deal with degree information, services that exchange information, and services that provide our customers with insights. Just remember that we're not going to delve down and dissect each of the services today. We're just going to talk about each one in general terms. So, enrollment information. Let's just show all of these at once. All of these services involve enrollment information, or they revolve around enrollment information. If you look at the first bullet, enrollment reporting, this is a service that we provide post-secondary institutions. They are sending all of their enrollment data to us at the Clearinghouse, and we report out the proper enrollment status of their currently enrolled students to the Department of Education per federal regulations, and also to the lending communities, those lenders, servicers, and guarantors of student loans. And this is done to make sure that students are reported out at the proper status, and when a student falls below half-time status, then they are approached to start repaying their student loans at the appropriate time. Enrollment reporting for education finance providers. This is a similar service, the same data, enrollment reporting data coming from post-secondary schools to benefit the students and their financial aid status, but then looking at the lender sides, they're using enrollment reporting for education finance providers because they're able to get the current enrollment status of those students who have been issued student loans. Enrollment Verify and Grad Verify. These are services that benefit a number of groups, students, corporate institutions, and also to post-secondary education institutions. So Enrollment Verify, we are verifying whether or not a student is currently enrolled and their enrollment status. All the requests that a school would normally get can then be outsourced to us online. So companies that are trying to verify current enrollment status, for example, a health insurance company that wants to make sure the student can continue to be covered on their parents' insurance policy. Perhaps there's a student discount. Perhaps I would like my Amazon Student Prime account. I need to verify I'm currently enrolled. Or perhaps I would like my discount on my new MacBook through Apple. These are the types of things that are verified and why. Grad Verify, this is someone or an organization that just needs to verify a student has graduated. So for example, my car insurance provides a discount when I have received graduate studies. So when I finish that, then I get a discount on my car insurance. So all of those companies that are verifying this are typically providing a service or a discount to a student. And then there's student self-service. So this is a service that a college or university signs up with. If I'm a student at that institution, then I would go online to my student portal and I could do things like check my grades, but I can also verify my own enrollment. I can print out my own enrollment verification certificate to send to my parents' health insurance company, or I could use it to verify enrollment for housing assistance or a number of things. Now, the services that involve degree information, and we're looking at things like Degree Verify, dates of attendance, and professional certifications. Degree Verify is similar to Enrollment Verify. The clearinghouse is verifying on the school's behalf that this particular individual has earned a degree from that institution. So background screening firms and potential employers can come to one place and verify that yes, Lisa has graduated and received a master's from this institution. Dates of attendance, this is a verification that's done in cases where a student may not have graduated, but they have attended. So a potential employer or a background screener would be looking to say, okay, on Lisa's employment application, it's true that she went to Virginia Commonwealth University from this date to this date. And then professional certifications, things like IT security certifications, Adobe, IBM certifications, Citrix. There are a number of different professional organizations that award certificates that do verification through the clearinghouse as well. And actually you can see a list of who those are on the website studentclearinghouse.org, and you can look under the link for workforce. Now, services that involve the exchange of information. As you can imagine, we're talking mostly about the exchange of transcripts. So you can see here we have Transcript Services and we have Transcript Center. Transcript Services is the service we provide to post-secondary institutions, and so a college that is using our Transcript Services, we're able to have a student order online with us on our ordering form that we've put together on the school's behalf with their assistance. And they can get either transcripts delivered by paper or they can deliver them electronically. If the school offers fax service or hold for pickup, we're able to notify you that you should fax to this number or that you should pull it aside and hold for that student to pick up. Transcript Center is Transcript Services again, but we're looking at involving secondary institutions. So there are 2 states I know of that have a statewide adoption or use of Transcript Center, and that's Wyoming and Tennessee. And so in those states, within that state, secondary and post-secondary institutions can exchange transcripts electronically. And then we have reverse transfer. And reverse transfer is a way that we can allow students to earn the degrees that they haven't been awarded yet, but they're earning. So if a student transfers from a 2-year school and goes to a 4-year school, they haven't gotten their associate's degree yet. While they are earning credits at that new 4-year institution, if both schools are participating in the reverse transfer student and the student consents, then those credits, as I earn them at the 4-year college, can be shared with the 2-year. And once I meet my threshold and the 2-year school sees that this is acceptable, then I can earn my associates at the same time that I'm working towards my bachelor's. And then last but not least, we are looking at the services the clearinghouse provides that provide insights. And for most of this, we're talking about Student Tracker. Student Tracker is a fantastic service because we're looking at the national coverage and usage that we have across the nation. Remember, it's about 98% of the nation's enrollment and approximately 93% of the nation's degree obtainment for four-year institutions. So if I'm a college and I want to find out what's happening from freshman to sophomore year where I'm losing students, where are these students going, why are they not persisting on, then I could send a list of those students that I know did not come back, and I could send it to the clearinghouse, and I can find out, okay, are these students enrolled somewhere else? Are they full-time, half-time, less than half-time? If it's been some time, have they received a degree from another institution? And so it's giving me insights of what's happening with my students at my institution. The premium service, it takes that information and it takes it a bit further, meaning I'm able to look at my data compared to signature reports, which are reports that our research center puts out, but I can look at it in comparison to my data. And I can have the ability to rerun a report as well. Rerun a query is what they call it. High schools and outreach programs are also able to send cohorts of their graduating students, and they can see the outcomes that are happening with their students. Are they going on to college and enrolling? Are they persisting to more than 1 year? And are they graduating? And then when we look at educational organizations can look at systems of institutions, a school district. So it covers a number of different things, but they're doing the same thing. They're trying to get insights on their student populations. And then lastly, there's the Research Center. The Research Center is a great place to go and find information of what's happening nationally and on a statewide basis, in some cases for enrollment trends, mobility, transfer. There are some reports that are there on science, technology, engineering, and math, on STEM, looking at male and female degree obtainment for undergraduate, graduate, and doctorate level. So there are a number of things there, and these are free and available online for anyone that goes. We do enrollment estimates. We do high school benchmark reports, and we put it there so that policymakers and our education community can look at that and make informed decisions and policies based on real live data.